Every night, I mixed a drop in his food. Too little to kill quickly, but enough. Enough to weaken him.
My grandmother's hands were soft and smelled like the earth after rain. She learned about plants from her mother, who taught her how leaves could heal cuts and roots could soothe a sick stomach. Those hands brought comfort and peace. They touched flowers, brewed teas, and cared for children. To everyone around her, she was gentle, kind, and full of life. But behind those soft hands was a story no one could imagine. A story filled with both love and pain, healing and destruction. When she was young, she thought love was simple. She met a man who smiled widely and spoke sweetly. He promised her safety, a home full of laughter, and a future where she would never be alone. She wanted to believe him. At first, everything seemed bright. She thought she had found the life her mother had always dreamed of for her. She cooked for him, cared for him, and held on to hope. But smiles fade, and promises break. Love turned darker. Slowly, the house changed. The man who once held her close now shouted in anger. His hands, once warm and kind, grew heavy and cruel. She began to dread the nights, the sound of footsteps, and the chilling silence that filled the room before the storms of shouting. It was no longer a home. It felt like a cage. What hurt her most wasn't her own pain. It was knowing her child could see and hear everything. Her love for her child became her only light. Every bruise she had felt small next to the hurt in her child's eyes. She could handle the pain, but seeing her little one cry was unbearable. In the dark, she whispered promises, saying, "One day it will be better." She tried to heal with herbs, hope, and prayers, but nothing could stop his rage. Nothing could protect them from the monster in their home. That was when her heart began to change. Healing wasn't enough. She needed a different way. One night, with tears in her eyes, she stood in her small kitchen and looked at the plants she had relied on all her life. Plants that had healed fevers and stomach aches now seemed to whisper something else. Among the healing herbs were those that could harm. She had always avoided them, fearing their danger. But now, danger was part of her everyday life. With trembling hands, she picked leaves not for medicine but for poison. Her heart broke as she crushed them, but her love for her child was stronger than her fear. It wasn't quick. It wasn't sudden. Night after night, she mixed just enough into his food. A drop in the stew. A pinch of tea. Too little to notice, too little to kill quickly, but enough to weaken him. For 7 long years, she kept this secret. Each meal became a battle between love and guilt. Each bite he took was a step toward freedom. She smiled as she served him, but inside, her heart raced with fear of being discovered. 7 years felt like a lifetime. As time went on, he grew weaker. His voice lost its sharpness. His steps slowed. He no longer had the strength to hit or shout. While he faded, her child grew stronger. The house that once echoed with fear slowly filled with laughter again. But the peace came with a heavy price. She carried guilt in her chest like a stone, knowing she had crossed a line that could never be undone. She did not kill out of hate, but from love, and that truth haunted her every day. 50 years have passed since then. She now sits in a nursing home in upstate New York, her hair silver, her face lined with time. To the world, she is just another old woman with soft eyes and gentle hands. People see her knitting or gazing out at the Hudson River and think she is harmless. But inside her, a fire burns a memory she cannot extinguish. She smiles kindly, but her heart holds a truth that has never been spoken aloud. So now she speaks. She tells her story because silence has become too heavy. She was a healer who became a killer, a mother who chose poison so her child could live in the light. She does not ask for forgiveness or seek pity. She only asks that people listen and understand. Life is not always black and white. Sometimes love drives a person to places they never thought they could go. Her story is not just about pain. It is about the power of a mother's love. If you are hearing this, know that monsters do not always have sharp teeth or claws. Sometimes they live in the same house, smiling by day and raging by night. Sometimes the one who saves you does not look like a hero. Sometimes she looks like a grandmother with gentle hands who once held flowers and later crushed leaves for poison. She asks you to share her truth because the world must know that love can heal, but it can also destroy.